Morning, Kris. So Evander Kane skated with the main group today. It looks like he's playing his way into the conversation. Can you give us an idea of what that conversation looks like? When he's healthy, does he go, or is there some more consideration there?
Yeah, we've got some things to think about. I still haven't seen TD follow up on exactly how good he feels, but we have possibilities.
We'll go that same row with Derek.
Hey, Kris. I just want to ask you, when you guys want to compartmentalize every game, like it's just one entity going to the next, does having the 2-day break help in that regard, or would you rather kind of try and take some momentum from the last one?
I think it'd be best to play. I don't know, just get it over with and move on, not have the 2 days off where you talk about momentum, but I don't think momentum lasts very long. I think our guys feel good, but it is what it is. You know, after losses, I can say that we want to get back at it and not think about it too much. After wins, we don't want to think about it too much. We want to get back to playing. So it is, I don't know. I don't think it makes much difference.
Right side, front row, Stephen.
Kris, you've known Connor McDavid for a long time, and he obviously puts a lot of pressure on himself and a lot of responsibility for how a team performs. What is it about kind of the way he approaches a game that allows him to kind of handle the pressure he puts on himself and deliver in those moments?
I don't know. Well, I think the first thing is he loves the game. I don't think you can be exceptional at anything you do unless you absolutely love what you're doing, and he loves playing hockey. Obviously, there's some talent that he was inherited. A lot of it he had to work at and improve. I think that's the most important thing. I think he just is a very competitive person also. Wants to win, wants to be the best. So between his love and passion, I think that just allows him to rise up and make those plays at significant times.
Right side, back row, Dan.
Kris, you guys wanted this, right? I mean, you wanted to bring them back here. You wanted to be at the rink today playing. They didn't want any part of this. They wanted to end it the other night. Do you think that plays a role in mindset going into, over these 2 days, going into a game, that one team wanted this and the other team, well, it has to do this because of what happened?
You know, I can't speak for Florida, but I know for our group, we've enjoyed this whole process. We've enjoyed just the fact that we've handled adversity all season. You know, being 32nd in the NHL at one time to facing elimination games in difficult times through the playoffs. And right now, any extra time that we get to spend together, any extra game that we get to play, we feel very fortunate to do. And, you know, we feel very fortunate to be in this Game 6 situation. But I know I've got a team full of guys who are hungry to make sure they get to play 2 more games and not just 1.
Right side, second row, EJ.
Coach, how impressed have you been with Phil Broberg's kind of emergence here for you? He's kind of been a saver for you in a lot of ways. He's given you another element on defense. He's obviously skating well. He seems to be playing with confidence. I don't know how much you knew about him prior to coming here, but how impressed have you been with him? You're putting him out there in some big spots.
Yeah, Burby, I didn't know very well. You know, when I got here, he was with the team, and you know, we early played 7 defensemen a couple times, and you know, I'm not really comfortable doing that very often. We had 6 defensemen who had been playing really well together, and for him, you know, he wasn't benefiting being here as a 7th defenseman, and he went to Bakersfield, and I think they did a heck of a job managing him. Like I said, managing him, like coaching him up and putting him in situations to succeed. He went there with an outstanding attitude of, you know, a lot of times players who are good enough to be in the NHL that get sent to the American League kind of have a chip on their shoulder and don't go down there and play their best and don't make the most out of that situation. I think we had 2 players that did that, Dylan Holloway, Philip Broberg. They went to Bakersfield and played exceptionally well And then when there was an opportunity for them to come back to play for us, they did an outstanding job. And Broby, we put him in a difficult situation. I'm not sure which game it was. Actually, I do. Game 4, Dallas, almost a must-win game. And we put him in a situation where he played really well. And since then, he's only continued to play better and better. And, we're very fortunate to have him. We wouldn't be in this situation without him. I think he's helped our team.
Right side, fourth row, Tony.
Morning, Kris. Just over here. Just asked Connor McDavid about the team's adaptability, and he said it starts with the head coach and the coaching staff. But I ask you, how open and willing and fluid is this group in receiving that feedback? I mean, in the previous 2 rounds, you guys fell down behind and came back and got the job done. Of course, looking to get the job done now. But how fluid is that group in that dressing room?
We've been able to make changes, and they've been able to adapt and play well. Each series, each game, we're looking for different aspects where we're trying to match lines or add a little more physicality, more speed, or puck play, or we need a penalty killer, whatever the situation is. We've been able to maneuver our lines a little bit, our lineup, and it starts with Ken Holland putting our roster together, knowing exactly what our team needs. The trade deadline was going on, weeks prior to it, and we had conversations on what do you need, what do you like, what do you think we're missing. I threw out some ideas that I had, but I think Ken, obviously going through it for so many years, knew exactly what we needed, and he took my advice a little bit, but he was one who really knew what we needed and addressed those. So having that fluid lineup starts with Ken, knowing exactly, having a vision of what we needed. But a lot of credit to the players on being able to go in the lineup after not playing after long periods of time. You look at, right now, look how well Connor Brown's been playing. Connor Brown didn't play in the first round against LA. Came in, I believe, game 2, the second series, and now he's been playing phenomenal. And, we've had a lot of stories like that. So, so to answer your question, I think Ken should get a lot of credit.
Left side, fourth row, Salim.
Hey, Kris, over here. We saw the other day, Stuart was dancing, and it looks like these guys are kind of living in the moment and not thinking too much. How has that mindset evolved from when you took over, or have you seen that mindset grow over the past playoff run?
Well, when I got here, I don't think there was any belief in the room that they weren't a good hockey team. There was definitely a lot of frustration, and there should have been. They were a good hockey team. Things weren't working out at that time. And so, I've said this before, is they've been down and out, whether there's been playoff series, going into the Dallas series, we weren't expected to win that. Vancouver, we had 2 elimination games. We should have been finished then, so-called. Going into this series, even before the series started, we weren't really expected to have much success. Certainly going down 3-0, it was all in out. Looked like we were done. But for our guys, I think they've been just enjoying the moment, having fun, trying to stretch our season out as long as possible. They've seen a lot of adversity. They've read it all, and now they're just playing hockey. You've heard a lot about the players talk about they play their best with their backs against the wall. That puts a lot of pressure on teams, and sometimes you see a lot of players clamp up, not play their best because of that extra stress. Our guys have gone through it so many times, they're just savoring the moment.
Left side, second row, Jason.
Kris, Leon Draisaitl has been one of the most productive playoff guys in history. For him, his numbers now, he says, he has a high bar for himself. What have you seen from his play lately that, you're happy about? Is there any small detail of his game that you feel that could get him over the top and back to the level he was at?
No, you look at the points and the goals for, and so often you just look at those stat lines and you think, he's not playing well. And, whether it's a regular season or the playoffs, very similar to what he said after the first 3 games of playoffs, this series, for our team. Could be the same as what I'm going to say about Leon is, just the numbers don't usually add up. Doesn't tell the whole picture. You can play a game where, and I've seen it, guys are terrible, but just everything lined up, whether there was bad mistakes by the opposition, the goalie was out of position, or your line mate did all the work and all you had to do was tap a puck in 2 feet. I've seen players get hat tricks or just career games where the rest of it wasn't very good, but you look at the stat line and it was really good. And right now I think of Leon's game right now, he's been playing well. Has it been what it sometimes is, what it was against the LA series or other times during the playoffs? Maybe not quite, but it's still been pretty good. He's been doing a lot of things for our team and just missing the goals and assists, and that a lot has to do with the luck factor.
Left side, fourth row, Slav.
Kris, you've had your best player step up on the biggest stage with your season on the line. What do you think that does for the rest of the group to see McDavid play the way he has in terms of, I guess a confidence, from a confidence standpoint or a psychological standpoint for the rest of the group?
It starts with your best players. If your best players are going and playing well, everyone else follows. If you're in the dressing room, you look around the room and you're looking across your leaders and you're not sure if they're ready to play, whether they're nervous or struggling or whatever, puts in a lot of doubt in your team. But when you look across and you see Stuart Skinner playing as well as he is, Connor McDavid putting up back-to-back 4-point games, that gives your team a lot of confidence. And your best players do that. And everyone else is like, okay, they've got it. They're our best players and they're ready to play. All right, we're going to be okay. And just gives confidence throughout the dressing room.
Last one, second row, right side, Mark.
Chris, so you're a little kid going to a big game in Imperial, Saskatchewan. Bob's probably playing in like some kind of provincial final, but my point is, big hockey games in Canada are a big deal in the whole town, right? I don't know what it was like for you as a kid. Now you're presiding over the senior hockey team in a 1 million person city, and it is a big deal Friday night. Like, everybody's pumped about this game. So tell us about a Canadian city that gets this game, right? That gets the opportunity to play the last game of the season in their town. It's a big game. What's it like for you?
Well, just going back to my hometown, when I was going to that big game, whether I was playing in it or watching it, I don't know, just mostly thinking about going to the rink, watching those games. All the lights out were everyone's house, the lights were out, and everyone was at one location. That was around the hockey rink. All the cars are parked there, and everyone's there, and that's where the excitement is. I guess it's going to be kind of that feeling here in Edmonton, where a lot of people are watching on TV, around the building, in the building. The excitement's high. For us, our team to be a part of that, playing that game where so many people are interested in what happens, we're thrilled to be part of that. So, and we're thrilled to be a part of that last game being played in Canada, but we'll also be very thrilled to be playing that last game, which is going to be a game 7, hopefully.